Is Ben Simmons a lost cause now?
Skip, I believe two things are at play here. I believe Ben Simmons probably, because he went into great detail talking to Shams. I mean, he was basically spilling his soul to Shams.
Yep.
The question is he hurt now or was he hurt then? Because he mentioned about his back and that he had dead foot and he couldn't walk, he couldn't sleep.
Yep.
And obviously he's having career lows across the board, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He's coming off the bench now. He's playing less than 27 minutes a ball game. But I still do not believe Ben Simmons has not come out of that mental fog that was happened to him in Philly. And I don't, and sometimes that feels like an injury. Because sometimes, Skip, we can create our own demons, and sometimes we have to chase those things away. We must chase those things away. Ben is not the same, Skip. I mean, it's hard, Skip, for me to just look at it like, because some people, where their passion of Michael Irvin, you can tell he loved the game. He was fire and brimstone.
Yep.
It was everything. And some guys don't have that level of burning fire, but they still love the game. So I don't want to sit here and say, well, he don't love the game. But he does not even look, he doesn't even resemble.
No.
It's not even close. Other than he looks like Ben Simmons, nothing else about his game says Ben Simmons. Skip, I ain't expecting the man to ever shoot 40% from the three. I ain't expecting him to shoot 70% from the free throw line. But, man, he just seems like a lost cause. It just seems like it's one thing after another. They had a players-only meeting. It says that he was very receptive because Markeith spoke, and it said Ben seemed really receptive. And then he turns around and missed like 3-4 of the next games. He says it's his knee. He's getting PRP treatments.
Yep.
I thought that the Brooklyn Nets got a good deal. They had a guy in James Harden that no longer wanted to be there. And it seems like the only team that was willing to trade with them were the Sixers. And it seems like, well, Skip, we're exchanging problems. We got a guy that don't want to be here either.
Yep.
You got a guy that don't want to be there. So how about we just swap? James Harden is hurt now. I'm not so sure he's lived up to the expectations that Philly had for him. But Ben Simmons hadn't even come close, Skip. Because remember, he missed all of last year.
Yep.
He was supposed to come back during the playoffs. He was even practicing, and then come time to play the game, he's like, nah, bro, I ain't going to be able to make it happen. Skip, I've never seen anything like this. You gave the stats about the All-Star games, the All-NBA defensive team selections, the Rookie of the Year. Skip, he's a guy. He's less than a guy now.
I don't even know if he's a guy.
Yeah, he's less than a guy now. Skip,
I mean,
Skip,
Royce O'Neal is a guy to me, but he plays hard, man.
Yeah, Skip, I think, look, I'm not saying that Ben Simmons, it's hard, because Skip, I can't tell a guy if a guy's hurt. He knows his body.
Yeah.
But I still believe Ben is dealing with this thing mentally.
Likewise, unfortunately. Again, to your point, Rookie of the Year, 3 straight All-Star teams, 2 straight first-team All-Defenses. Last game we saw in Philly, even though it was a debacle of a disaster at the end of the game because he ran from the late-game free throw line, he guarded Trae Young most of the game and held him to 5 of 23 because he can do that at 6'10" and long and agile.
Right.
And when he used to have the basketball in his hands running up the floor, there weren't many faster than him with the basketball. He's like Lonzo. He can lope down the court with those long strides. So he has to live up on the defensive end. He's got to give you first-team all-defense or he's useless.
Yeah.
Okay. That guy who made those all-star teams, he is gone, and I'm afraid he's gone for good because I can't recognize an inch or ounce of him. To your point, I don't even know who this is anymore.
But would you say that can he be serviceable? If you don't believe he can ever be an all-star again or an all-NBA defensive player, is he serviceable?
No. This young man, still very young, 26.
Yes.
He appears to have lost his desire to play basketball at the highest level. Maybe he wants to go play in the park somewhere, but again, he's not having fun playing basketball with the spotlight on him. What you got?
Well, Skip, if he's lost his desire to play and they're paying you $30 million, he damn sure ain't playing in the park. Michael Jordan had a desire to play so much so he had a clause in his contract for the love of the game that I could play basketball anywhere, anytime.
That is correct.
That's love of the game.
Okay, so again, Is it the back? Is it the knee? I have no idea. But the reason they're having team meetings is because they wanted to see the tenacity on the defensive end, and you can't see it.
Right.
He's not even a guy on defense. He just sort of drifts on defense.
He's a turnstile now.
No, he's a turnstile. It's hard to watch.
It is.
And yet the irony of this report from Shams is that last night, this is sad but true, Ben actually had his best offensive game of the year because he actually made 5 of 7 shots. I was actually watching much of this game, but he did make a 6-foot pull-up, quasi little jump shot on a fast break, and he had 2 floaters that he made from about 4 feet.
Right.
So I give him that. But you read those numbers. We got to do something to change these numbers because 666 is not a good number to have for your. I think that kind of says it all. Ben, you got to do something to knock one of those numbers up or down because you don't want to stick on 666. Right. But the point is, that's all he's averaging for the year. And from the free throw line so far this year, he's 8 of 17. Well,
47%.
Yeah, it's just not good enough because now you're clearly unplayable down the stretch of games.
Once again, he's only shooting 48% from the floor, so it's not like he's and a guy that size, he should be mid-50s, maybe even 60%, because he ain't shooting anything but layups and dunks.
No, man, he just looks lost to me, which makes him lost cause to me.
Yeah, he looks like a defeated man.
Which makes the Nets, who have even bigger issues revolving around Kyrie, obviously, he'll be back pretty soon, I hope, for their sake. But again,
I don't know, Skip. It don't seem like
okay, well, we'll see about that. But the point is, this team looked lost last night because they're at Sacramento and they give up 153.
In a regulation game. This is not overtime or double overtime.
153, they gave up 80 in the second half. They lost the second half 80 to 65.
Skip, they let the team shoot 60% from the floor and 49% from the 3. Now, Sacramento is better than...
No, they got talent.
Skip, they can score the basketball.
Yeah.
They can score it. They can shoot the 3. Sabonis is unbelievable. I mean, Skip, I mean, not to switch, but just to a little bit. Skip, they might have to move Kevin Durant. Ain't moving by the trade deadline, or you're definitely moving him this offseason. This thing is going to look totally different next year. Skip, what are you keeping him for?
As a marquee drawing card, it's all you got. It's all you got to sell.
You don't sell our home games anyway. Excuse me. You might as well go ahead and get some compensation. Skip, this thing with Ben Simmons, and I don't know, and we talked about it, and how Vegas had them like content. Skip, they can't. Skip, they don't play any defense. If your defense is your offense, because what's going to happen? At some nights, you're not going to have it offensively. Well, if you don't play no defense, this is what happens. They're going to get 153 on you. That's what happens. I mean, Skip, look at those plus minuses up there. Did you look at those plus minuses? A minus 40. Every starter, Edmund Sumner, had the lowest plus minus, and he was minus 20. Somebody had a Joe Harris was minus 37. Nick Claxton minus 30. Russ O'Neal was minus 40. KD was minus 31. And KD played the most. He played 31 minutes. How the hell you get that kind of plus minus with 30 minutes?
Guess what he did for the free throw line? Oh, he made all 11.
Right, 11.
He's trying to keep up with Luka, right?
No, what he tried to do, he needed 46 points to get to 26,000, 27,000 points.
Think he's stat padding?
But you know who got the record right now, right? You know what it is. You looked up through the top of your eye. You know who got it.
Kevin Durant played 0 minutes in the fourth quarter last night, so he wasn't stat padding.
Hold on. I'm looking at these numbers. Did he play at all? How you have somebody get 153? 153, Skip.
Yet this is the same team that just last Saturday beat the Clippers in L.A. So I don't know what switch got flipped, because then against AD, they just gave up. They just let him parade to the basket. And he got 37 and 18. And then they go up to Sacramento and get blown off the floor after they got it to 40 all early.
And some dude, Metu, Skip.
Yep.
Terrence Davis had played 26 minutes and had 31, 12 of 16, 7 of 10 from the 3. Skip, it's over. Skip, it's over.
This is a troubled basketball
team. Skip, it's over. Josiah, do the right thing. Just go ahead. Hey, OKC, if KD, are you willing to go to OKC? Go get Gilgeous-Alexander. Get some of those draft picks, Skip.
Good.
Skip, it's over in Brooklyn. This was not successful.
Okay, I will give you that, but you got to give me it's also over in Los Angeles.
And it over GOAT.
No?
Oh, GOAT.
But wait a second. The Nets are 6-9. Goat is 3-10. 3-10?
I think he might be back tomorrow.
Okay. Well,
He might
then
be
what's
back
gonna
tomorrow.
happen?
Oh,
Really?
make a run.
They're going to make a run from 3-10 to what?
100 miles and run it.
To barely miss the play-in?
You look up, we might be 10-10.
Really?
Then what you gonna say? Then what you gonna say?
I'm going to say right now, I'll bet you 5 cases they don't get to 10-10. Want to bet 5?
Nah, we gonna get
Going
5.
once,
We going,
twice, 3 times.
I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna get to 5 and 10. 5 and 10. We gonna win the next 2.
Okay, well, you should win your next 2. You got LeBron bleeping James and Anthony Davis.
Coming off the little tender to growing area.
Oh, okay. That's what he says. Yeah.
But don't do that, Skip.
I don't
Don't
know.
do. See, there you go. You know